Hi guys, I welcome you to my YouTube channel again. My name is Olubusola Ajala. If you're just joining for the first time, welcome. And please subscribe, like, comment, share. Let's be part of this growing family. Please be part of my growing family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wow, amazing. We are in a new year. Welcome to 2023. Happy New Year. It's my first video for the year and I'm excited. Okay. What do I want to talk about today? This conversation is something that should have happened a long time ago and perhaps maybe not on my YouTube channel, but I mean, I'm happy to be having the conversation today. I target lessons at 40, right? And when I was, approaching my 40th birthday, some of you know that I clocked 40 last year. So when I was approaching my 40th birthday, I was thinking, what has life been for me? What lessons have I, learned? What are the things, what insights have I gotten about life? And how am I going to begin to live the next, 40, 60, 100? Do I want to live to 140? Who can tell, right? If God spares me, and in good health, and that's one of the reasons why you have to keep taking care of your body. See my body. All right, but I digress. All right, so what would life be for me, going forward? What are the things I want to take into my future, and what are the things that I want to let go of, right? And so 3 things stood out for me and I want to share with you because I believe that they will resonate with you and you can pick some lessons from it. And it's all about people. It's all about people, how we relate with people, how we live our lives, what we do, and all of that. So the first one I'm going to share, have them written out on my phone so that I will not forget. And the first one I'm sharing is about, never form an opinion about anyone based on other people's encounter, experiences, or stories shared with you, right? What does this mean? So I know that a lot of times, most times we do not encounter, we hear about people before we then encounter them, and depending on what you hear about them, it forms the basis by which you relate with that person. When you eventually meet with them, it forms also the opinion you have about them and how you even tend to view them, right? So and I'm going to share this story with you. Many years ago, somebody had shared with me about our experience with another person, right? And it wasn't a pleasant experience, right? And based on that, on the story shared with me, I found that I had formed an opinion about that person, right? I didn't know. And these things are, unconscious. We form the opinion unconsciously. We don't know, right? So I realized I formed an opinion about this person. But how did I get to that point where I began to re-examine things? So one day I was scrolling the streets of Instagram and I came across an Instagram live session that I'd held before, and I thought to just click on the video to watch the video. And I realized that this person that I had formed an opinion about in the past was a guest on that live video, right? And the person shared a lot of valuable nuggets that resonate with me and I even learned from. And I said to myself that, oh, this person has some good insights about life, good perspective about life, interesting conversation and all of that. And then I began to think, and I traced back to the things that I had heard about the person, and I realized that, well, it could be true, the things that I had heard, it could be true, I don't know, right? But one thing that now that dawned on me at that point in time was that the person that shared the story about the person that formed an opinion with, so let's say A shared a story about B with me. So I realized that the story A that shared a story with me about B had gone on later in life to form an affinity, a relationship with B that is thriving. I mean, I don't have a problem with that, right? It's good. People whom you once disagreed with can later become your friends. You can later become friends with people. You don't necessarily have to, make enemies of people, right? So I realized that this person had gone on to form, alliance, affinity, relationship with this person. And me, I'm here still having that opinion about that person, like drinking Panadol on another person's headache. Who sent me? So I realized that while it is okay that, you've heard things about people, but do not form an opinion based on whatever you heard from that person, because the person that shared the story with you today may have another thing to say tomorrow. So please wait to experience people yourself before you form any opinion. Hope that's clear. Fantastic. Now the second one, which is like a follow up from the first one, is your friends' enemies don't have to be your enemies. Your friends' enemies don't have to be your enemy. Just like the way they say, oh, my friends' friends don't have to be my friends. I mean, your friends' friends can be your friends. Very good. I mean, growing your network, right, of relationships and all, which is very good, right? But it's not compulsory that your friends' friends are your friends. But your friends' enemy should not be your enemies. Do not gather. Don't accumulate. Don't acquire enemies for yourself. It's not good. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve your purpose, because you never can tell the opportunities you may get from your friend's so-called enemies. And that the person is your friend's enemy today, the person can become friends with your friends later on in life. So do not say, oh, because she's my friend's enemy, then I have to make an enemy of her. No, life doesn't work that way, right? But the balance I'm going to add to it is this. As much as your friend's friends must not be as much as your friend's enemy should not be your enemy, right? You have to ensure that you do not put yourself in a position where your allegiance and loyalty to your friend becomes questionable. Do you get it? Let me say it again. Your friends' enemies don't have to be your enemies. In fact, they shouldn't be your enemies. However, you must not put yourself in a position where your allegiance and loyalty to your friend becomes questionable. So as you are trying not to make an enemy of your friend's enemy, you must also ensure that you don't put yourself in a situation or in a position where your loyalty and allegiance to your friends now becomes questionable. It will be tested. Right? It's okay for you to be tested, but do not allow it become questionable. Where it will now be a question of, oh, I don't even know if you are my friend or you are now my enemy. Right? So that balance is important. You don't want to be enemy with your friend's enemy, but you also do not want to put yourself in a situation where your allegiance or loyalty to your friend becomes questionable. Do we get it? Good. Last one. And these are lessons that I am, that I'm applying. I started applying them before I became 30, right? But, in retrospection, I was just thinking, and I thought it would be important to share, because we live in a world where you can't live, you can't live in isolation, right? No man is an island. So you have to relate with people one way or the other. You get to relate with people, right, on a daily basis. So we have to have, these guidelines, this ethos that guides our relationship with people, right? So the third one and final one, are we learning? is, and this one, I love this one, right? Inside every man are two different personalities. So inside this Busola you're seeing are two different personalities. There is the king and there is the beast. There is also the queen and then there is the bitch. Whichever you speak to at every point in time is what will respond to you. So today you could be, so you might find that, so people say, oh, I had an encounter with him and it was really a pleasant one. I enjoyed our conversation. And another person will tell you that, oh, I had a totally different experience. Now it depends on which of the personality you are speaking to per time. And this stems from your own approach, right, to the person. The way you approach, the individual is important. It might also be a function of the person having a bad day, right? And maybe because the person is having a bad day, then the person behaves in a nasty way, in a nasty manner. It does not mean that is who that person is. And this is where the place for, giving a benefit of doubt, the place of, second chance comes in, right? Because somebody who, was nasty to you, in the past can be friendly at another time. It may be a question of the person was having a bad day. It could also be a question of your own approach, your own attitude to the person. So, just know that inside each, personality, there inside, every human being, there are two personalities. You have the king, you have the beast, you have the queen, and you have the bitch. Which the one you call forth at every point in time is what will respond to you. So this goes to say that you also have to be very careful in the way and manner with which you approach people, in how you talk to people, in how you interact, and then also give that space to that moment of understanding to say, oh, maybe this person is having a bad day and that's why the person responded that way, right? So I hope that you've gotten one or two things from all the stories I've shared today and you can make something good out of it, right? So let me hear from you. What has been your experience? You have similar story? What has been your experience? Please drop your comments, your suggestions, your feedback in the comments, and please ensure you subscribe, you like. Let's grow this family together. Thank you for watching. Till I come your way another time. Bye.